敵と接触。エネミーダウン。リロードだ。マガジンを変える。援護しろ。ターゲットを捉えた。敵を捉えた。敵と交戦する。敵を捉えた。敵とターゲットを捉えた。敵を捉えた。ターゲットを捉えた。タンゴダウン。マガジンを変える。敵と接触。敵を捉えた。敵と交戦する。ターゲットを捉えた。敵と交戦する。ターゲットダウン。敵を捉えた。エネミーダウン。撃たれた。
Friendly stealth chopper inbound.
ターゲットダウン。ターゲットダウン。敵を捉えた。敵を捉えた。 少佐、ターゲットの位置をロック。全てのデータソースがセントラルスクエアのテスセラクトに集結した。少佐、ターゲットの位置をロック。全てのデータソースがセントラルスクエアのテスセラクトに集結した。少佐、ターゲットの位置をロック。全てのデータソースがセントラルスクエアのテスセラクトに集結した。
Welcome to Battle Royale. The match is about to start. Time for the mission. Get ready.
Enemy vehicle is nearly done for.
First blood. Chip terminal is almost ready. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle. The safe zone is collapsing. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle. Airdrop incoming. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Airdrop has been delivered. Airdrop incoming.
Engaging the enemy. Enemy down.
Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revive flight arrives. Airdrop has been delivered. arrive in 1 minute. Your teammate is on the revive flight. Airdrop incoming. Airdrop has been delivered. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle.
Enemy down.
The revive flight will arrive in 1 minute. Get the rest, soldier. Tank has been delivered. Half of the teams are eliminated. Chip terminal is almost ready. Airdrop has been delivered. Watch out. K9 unit incoming. The safe zone is collapsing. Airdrop incoming. Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revive flight arrives. Don't give up. You can still return to the battle.
Please go here to pick up my dog tags.
Airdrop has been delivered. The revive flight will arrive in 1 minute.
Please go here to pick up my dog tags.
Your teammate is on the revive Airdrop incoming. Airdrop has been delivered. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle. Don't give up. You can still return to the battle. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Your teammate has scanned your dog tags. Wait for the revived flight. Chip terminal is almost ready. Teammates on the revived flight will return to the battle. Airdrop incoming. The safe zone is collapsing. Airdrop has been delivered. Your team has been killed. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle. The last revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. You can still return to the battle. Airdrop incoming. Chip terminal is almost ready. Airdrop has been delivered. The safe zone is collapsing.
Free for all. Predator missile awaiting orders. Heads up, team. Enemy UAV spotted. Enemy UAV spotted. Airstrike is ready. Stealth chopper on standby. Missile awaiting orders. Be advised, hostile sentry gun spotted. Airstrike is ready. Stealth chopper on standby. Hostile stealth chopper inbound. Mission accomplished. Good work. Free for all. Hostile hunter-killer drone inbound. Predator missile awaiting orders. Hostile Predator missile inbound. Be advised, hostile hunter-killer drone inbound. Hostile sentry gun in AO. They're hurting. Keep fighting. Nice work. Well done. Free for all. Hostile sentry gun in your AO. Be advised, hostile stealth chopper inbound. Enemy sentry gun has been destroyed. Just another day. Good job. Strike is ready. Stealth chopper on standby. Mission accomplished. Good work.
Bem, galerinha, essa é a live aí do canal hoje, beleza? E agora, galera, a gente vai acompanhar agora, beleza? O campeonato da eliminatória aí do Call of Duty, beleza? Não esqueça de se inscrever no canal e deixar aí o seu like, beleza? Então, galera, deixar Pix aí, meu Pix aí. Você pode estar doando qualquer quantia, uns 50, para poder estar ajudando o canal aí, beleza? Então, como eu falei, também não se esqueça de compartilhar essa live. Compartilhando, você vai estar ajudando o canal a ser reconhecido por outras pessoas e dando o seu like aí e ativando as notificações também. Valeu, galera? Então, bora lá.
In a very dominant 3-0 fashion, so I mean you can probably guess how the tips scale in that situation. And now I feel like it's going to be
Galera, não se esqueça aí que você assistindo aí o campeonato aí você vai estar ganhando, tá bom? Prêmios, tá bom? Grátis aí, ó. Olha aí. Ó, esse aqui é o desígnio do avatar, né, de ali, e esse aqui é alta velocidade. Eu já até ganhei esse aqui também. Essa arma ainda não ganhei, beleza? Então, galera, vocês vão estar ganhando equipamentos, personagens de graça aí. É só assistir, tá bom? O campeonato aí. Não se esqueça de deitar o dedo no like aí, beleza? E se inscrever no canal e ativar as notificações, tá bom? Não se esqueça também de fazer a doação aí, galera. 1,50, qualquer valor, você vai estar ajudando aí o meu canal aí. Tamo junto e bora lá.
Yeah, a lot of kills already going their way, so it doesn't really matter offense, defense, you know. Number 5 though on your minimap, this can be Little B. He has managed to slip by a lot of the cavalry. The issue is what can he do with it? He will find one kill to ease some of this mid pressure here. He's actually going to push up into spawn, maybe a little overzealous by himself, as he will get quickly shut down from players left spawn.
We need to have control for your Mayhem. And they tried to go in for that, finally wins the shots, but it's not going to be in the clear because player number 2, Envy's going to be there to try to go and shut him down. Even on the points, and now for the attack, if you're going to be NYSL, you need to have control because so far, none whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty one-dimensional, the route that they're actually taking, because yes, they're trying to go in for that A push, going in for the 2F, but then they're just losing all of their gunfights right now.
I mean, it's that in the fact that, like, if you paid attention to your minimap in the last 10 seconds, Mayhem's there. They're in the top side of Palace right now, but they're just so worried about pushing up in the spawn and trying to set up this weird spawn trap thing rather than stopping the clock. I mean, we've had this issue when we were watching EU, and I was losing my mind because people would not stop the clock. They were just not worried about the clock on control. They were trying to make it more of a TDM, trying to force those kills, and now there's 8 seconds on the clock. I mean, no tick today, no tick to B, no control whatsoever, just trying to play for these kills. It's really disappointing to see.
Like, again, one-dimensional plays because they keep funneling way into the same direction, and it's just gonna be hard to zero already. I mean, we need that presence of mind. I mean, we don't want Ali to go in, you know, give you wagging the finger right now.
I don't know if you guys, I don't know where you guys are talking. I don't know if it's game. I don't know if it's Discord. I don't know if it's I'm going to join it. I'm going to start yelling at people. Stop the clock, please. It's an objective-based game mode, technically. I understand in COD Mobile, a lot of the times these rounds end up ending by lives and being kind of a TDM. But I think that's just because of the way these players are playing it. They're playing it like a TDM rather than capitalizing on this objective pressure, and that's why we're seeing such these heavy differentials and letting the clock just tick and tick and tick down. Undreamed clearly know at least a little bit what they're doing. They're getting the first pick at A minute and 12 seconds on the clock. They're up a life as well, a lot of map control. I mean, this is a little bit of outclassing.
I don't blame him. And by the end of the day, I'm not going to be surprised if there's going to be just life dwindling down, but obviously the favor of Undream.
Number 5 in your minimap, I want to see him go to B right now. Like, they already have all this presence on A. They have all these kills. I love it. Number 4 is going to do it instead. It's going to be Washi. I wanted it to be banned, but Washi read my mind anyway. Washi's now on the B site. Now this is what we love to see. Undream is playing for this objective. A is now gone. B, a tick is almost gone. And not only that, Undream also has the life advantage. It is 21-13. They have plenty of time to work with. Washi is set up here on B still by himself. He needs some friends. I'm going to be honest. He needs some friends. Bands is going to be here. Unfortunately, I mean, there's 3 other members, so he'll get shut down fairly quickly, but that's going to be a tick gone at B.
And that was a very essential tick for them because with 1 minute 51, they have a lot of time to play with. The Pred missile does come through, takes down 2. Solo, big kills, 16-10. Not only that, Blur with Annihilator as well applies that pressure to them. 1 more kill for them to go and flush everyone out here. Finally, there you go. That kill gets rid of one last player. Now, Blur gets taken out by Space, but still applied a lot of pressure there. I mean, they're down with the lives, 12-5, and Undream looking like a very solid one. Not only that, taking a look at that, both of these teams also fully streaked out when it comes to the operators.
Now they can play TDM. Now, I don't care if you play TDM. It's 11v4. Obviously, it's the smarter decision and the faster decision to play TDM. 11v3. Again, controller's a little bit different here as everybody's still going to be up, but it doesn't matter because Washi is finding every kill under his belt. I mean, they have 1 minute and 20 seconds to work with. Carlino will find 3. Stops the bleeding for just a moment, but they have to play perfect here. Not a single player can fall. Only 2 lives to Mayhem's name. 1 minute to work with. A tick is already captured on B. I mean, Undream could just take their time here. They could just group up right now, make a push towards B site, and that could be all she wrote, but they're not really doing that.
Space and Little B had a really great play trying to isolate, but obviously it's not enough for them because the life advantage is just a little bit too far off. And now we're finally here. We're at match point. We might take this into a 3-0. What?
Bobby, I'm so sorry. This is definitely looking like a 3-0 for the boys on side of Mayhem. I mean, they sometimes will scratch the surface of being a great team. I understand they are in our top 4 seeds, and NA is typically top heavy, but they are scratching the surface of what Undream is doing to them right now. Unfortunately, for the side of them, I mean, it is dominance across the board. Specialists now being invested. Already a life lead in the side of Undream. Mayhem, I mean, there's no team plays, there's no team pushes going on right now. The Annihilator and Washi is just absolutely world-starring everybody in Spawn. He'll finally get taken down, but, I mean, that's some serious time wasted, some 45 seconds on the clock.
What the Spawn trap? I mean, they can't even cross over to 2F. There's no way they can go touch A. And yeah, 40 seconds left on the clock, but then 24 and 17. They need to make a play. We already saw this a while ago. That's going to be really hard. But then, hey, play number 4. Going to be a good rotation. If he wins this gunfight, and yes, he does, good. That is a lifeline that they need. But finally, B is going to be taken over. But then there's no one there to go in there for the backup. And if he loses the gunfight, it's basically over.
Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of help right now. As that's going to be Carlinho. That was all by himself on B. He will get shut down. Unfortunately, I mean, there's no way any of his teammates can get out of spawn right now. He was able to slip by. It was a good decision to try and stop the clock for as long as he could. But 3 members of Undream make that rotation, get that kill. Now it's going to be Robalo. He's going to be here as well. He's going to try and stop this clock, but Bandit's going to find a kill. He has a hunter drone. He's going to send that out. He's going to also win this gunfight on top of space. I mean, this is just not a favorable situation for Mayhem. 12 seconds left on the clock. Nobody's going to be close enough to stop the time, except maybe Carlino, but I mean, he would have to straight sprint to this A site. It's not looking good.
Band is just popping off at this map.
Yeah,
he's just absolutely great. The only place to get that line of 2. But then, something that we didn't really get to expect here. 3-0.
Well, the map, it didn't matter for the side of Undream. It's a 3-0 control once again. I can tell exactly what game mode they went back and heavily did their homework on to pull out. Now that is a hot 3-0 again for the side of Undream. It was close in the beginning of the series, but by the tail end of the S&D into the control, I mean, it was just dominance. It was outclass from the side of Undream.
I feel like it really went down. Basically, the win condition went down into when we found out what maps that we had, and just looking at Raid being bad, knowing very well that is your best bet, that kind of just set the tone for this game here. Didn't expect it to be a 3-0 here, the series.
Yeah.
And now, taking a look at the stats, Bad having a 22. I mean, let's talk about that game. For the side of NYSL, they just couldn't go. They didn't have anything when it comes to the offense.
I mean, we would see blips of great decision-making. Like, Space is always trying to make the big play. Yeah. I mean, Nero, his slaying power in the first 2 maps was incredible. Unfortunately, we missed him a lot in this control. Little B snipes, like some of the routes Robalo would be taking. Carlinho with some of the 2 or 3 pieces to try and stop the bleeding. Like, the pieces are there, but they aren't there all at the same time. The puzzle is just not gluing together, where on the side of Undream, it's not just one player. It's everybody working together all at once. I mean, the teamwork was just impeccable.
I feel like when, especially seeing that last round, Washi just went very deep into spawn and just annihilated everyone with this Annihilator. And I feel like that is something that we saw in round number 1 as well. It's just like they had the right rotation. It's just they were losing all of their gunfights. So again, just being mechanically skilled just a little bit more. Now we finally get to see it.
Shoot, kids.
I can't believe this is actually what I'm seeing on the screen right now. But Undream, obviously, looking very hot off the start, giving 3-0s all across the board. And now NYSL was shaky in the first half of this day. And now here, round number 2, you are 1-1.
Yeah. I mean, Mayhem needed one of these 2 maps to go their way. Specifically that Search and Destroy. I feel like they definitely could have closed that out much earlier than when we went to overtime. That just put them in an unfavorable situation. Heading into control, like, I already favored Undream in that situation, but, like, Mayhem just needed to try and take one of these 2 maps, try to force it to the game 4 and 5. Unfortunately, it didn't go their way. They're not down and out yet. They will fall to the 1-1 pool of our Swiss bracket. But I know, Desk, you are watching from the sidelines, and you are just as much in pain as we are.
Yeah, you know, we were definitely watching as well, as it was a quick series, one that we did not expect to go as fast as it did, as you see Undream coming out on top and progressing a way on over towards day number 2. I'm Blaze, joined with Bobby Plays and Whole Shift. Now, guys, NYSL, they fall, and I think it really comes down to those first two maps. It was extremely close, Chef. What could NYSL really had done there in that hard point and SD to close it out to at least get to game 4, get past that control?
Allie hit it on the head. The hard point, too slow. They had to face up against double Goliaths at the very end. You just don't win those. Search and destroy. Adjustments were better as far as how quickly they were getting themselves back into the map, but you just kept finding situations where you're relying on one player to get the job done for you. This is not the Mayhem squad that we expected coming into today, that they were going to be a 5-man group. They're going to be taken very seriously, and they're going to have a major opportunity in front of them after stage 3 to possibly get out of this first day 2-0. But none of that stuff came true today whatsoever for them.
Definitely didn't. You know, Bobby, when it comes down to Undream, what was their key to success in this series against Mayhem?
I mean, this is a team that has been very solid all year. I think I'm like the least surprised at that result of anybody here because Undream has been absolutely phenomenal. They took Tribe to a Game 7 in Stage 3, and this is absolutely no question one of the top teams in the world right now. So you got to give a lot of credit to them for how well they played in this matchup. I think maps 1 and 2 definitely very winnable for NYSL, but a big thing that they've struggled with for a while is getting off to a slow start in hardpoint, and that's what we saw right there. That allowed Undream to snowball those couple of Goliaths, and at the end of the day, those 2 Goliaths are what won them the first map.
Yeah, it definitely did, and as you can see, Undream pressing forward here towards tomorrow in a 2-0 finish, and you know, Bobby, I'll double down and co-sign for you. You definitely had a lot of high hopes for Undream. You wasn't biased there in the matchup. You knew who the top teams were coming through today. And Undream officially punches their ticket in first. Now, the Tribe game versus Stamina, just to give you guys a little update on that one, last we checked, Tribe was up 2-0 up against Stamina. So they're looking good to move on forward towards tomorrow as well. But hey, anything can happen. We've seen some crazy comebacks before in the past. But so far, kicking off today, the matches hasn't been as close outside of that very first one we saw going up against Mobility and Mayhem. But at the bottom half of the bracket, some of those teams that lost in the first round, I think we'll have some close ones there, Chef.
If I'm not mistaken, at the moment, the most likely matchup we're going to get for a 1-1 matchup would be this NYSLM team playing up against Cold Showers for the last spots in. And for as shaky as NYSLM look, if Cold Showers can figure things out in a pretty softball matchup they've got going on next in the next slot, I think that would be a matchup that actually could see NYSL missing out on day 2.
Oh, we will see if that matchup goes down. But hey, day number 1 is already underway and things are getting excited. Coming up next is going to be Mobility going up against Mexus in an elimination matchup. You don't want to miss it. When we come back, we'll see who's going to go home and who's going to progress through the bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile Regional Playoffs. We just got through Swiss round 1, and we still got another round of Swiss round 2 to go as we just watched our winners play up against each other where we saw Tribe and Undream move forward, but now it's time to take a look at those 0-1 teams who have to battle up against each other. Coming up, it's going to be Mobility versus Mizexis as they're going to be battling to the wire because one of these squads are going home, and we're about to figure out who it's going to be. Allie, who do you think is going to take the cake in this matchup?
I have to go with Mobility, right? Like, even though they're going against a struggling Mayhem from what we've seen in both of their matches, like, Mizexis got, like, rolled by Undream earlier. Firing range, I mean, they got 80-point clubs. They didn't even make it to the 80 mark, to be fair. 7-1 Hacienda, Search and Destroy, 3-0'd on the raid. Now, I will say Undream is probably the best control team that we have right now, at least from what I've seen. Maybe Tribe's going to have something to say about that later on. But, I mean, just a lot more in the favor of Mobility going to that Game 5 from what their search looked like, from what their control looked like the stronger team for sure.
Definitely did. Bobby Too Cool, how you feeling in this matchup? Who do you think is going to come out on top?
Honestly, I think it's a Mobility 3-0. All due respect to Mizexis, but they're a very new team to NA Comp, and they just don't really seem to have the experience to take down a team like Team Mobility that has players from a number of different Stage 5 rosters. Like, this is not a roster to scoff at all. And with the amount of talent that they've got, I'd say good chance that they can make it to day 2.
All right, Bobby gives them a good chance, but we'll see if Mizexis got what it takes up against Mobility. It's time to get this series kicked off. Casters, where y'all at?
Same place we always are. How are you? What are we doing? What is this? I'm here for it. Is it?
Yeah, because a while ago me and Allie did something really cool, so we have to do something cool as well.
I'm not cool.
You are cool. You are the coolest.
I'm not cool. I'm not cool enough for the band. You a School of Rock fan?
Sorry.
Okay, we'll watch it later. Speaking of things to watch, though, Bobby hit it on the head. This Team Mobility squad, based off the Map 5 affair versus NYSL, immediately thrusted into the conversation of potential Sunday favorites out of who lost in the opening rounds they played.
It's going to be definitely going to be difficult because Summit right now, obviously, I feel like it favors Team Mobility just a little bit more. And yes, they lost that up against NYSL a while ago, but they had really good plays. The first half was really good, but it was when Space took out that Goliath, that's when everything just snowballed out of control.
I mean, those solo plays was what kind of got Mayhem through that first round in the first place, let alone that last series we just saw where some of the moments were close because of individual plays. So for Mobility, I think you just have to look at the fact that you've got some experience playing on these maps we have to start things off. Hopefully it's going to allow you to click, kind of take your game to the next level, because you're looking for an instant level up here, I think, of your Team Mobility. I think Bobby's right. This should be an expected 3-0 just based on what we saw earlier, but I think the thing is, you can't just live off of winning this series. Like, you have to be able to build towards that very pivotal last chance qualifying match when you find yourself hopefully up against a 1-on-1 squad.
And let's see if they can take this very seriously and just make it finish just like that. Because obviously, if you're looking at what Mizexis did a while ago, I mean, it was not a really good scoreline for them. But if you underestimate a team, that may be the end of you. You know, you got to be hardcore. You know, you're not hardcore unless you live hardcore.
You do know the reference! Get out of here!
I don't know, I was trying to give you a little bit of, you know.
Gosh, you had me completely debated. That makes me so happy. Come on! We love a good School of Rock reference. But I think the other side of things, we haven't seen this Mizexis squad play yet. So, you know, I think what Bobby is talking about where it comes to you've got a lot of new players here, maybe not the greatest situation to be in to try to get to Stage 5, but kind of getting your feet wet, right? That's kind of the biggest thing when you're dealing with a lot of new players that got put into the scene this year in 2022 is build that experience. Find a way to kind of learn and adapt, and who knows, maybe you could surprise somebody.
I mean, this is the kicker, though. Mizexis did go up against Undream a while ago, which, I mean, yes, a 3-0, but then we saw already that Undream gave NYSL a 3-0. And so maybe this is maybe a closer matchup, and yes, a while ago, NYSL was a little bit shaky up against Mobility, so, I mean, that's going to be an advantage for Mizexis.
Yeah, I think so, too, and who knows? I don't know. It's just all kind of a guessing game when your sample size is 1 for both of these two teams, one of which we didn't even see on stream. So we're excited to learn. Hopefully you guys out there are as well. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. It's like so many things are happening all at once. You got college football back, you got the PGA Championship back, you got COD Mobile NA back.
It's a good weekend.
We're back too.
Back-to-back action here. And yes, last weekend we did have Europe, and for the same thing here, NA, I feel like it's going really fast compared to what happened last week, but we're finally starting things off yet again. It feels like Summit Control is the map that we keep seeing here in Hardpoint, and let's see if we can finally see Mobility try to pick things up yet again from where they left off a while ago.
All right, here we go. High ground control looking to be pressured for Bizexis. Opening shots looking pretty solid, and well, actually the kills will not necessarily be there. Parka, who does hold a little bit of experience from their competitive time last year, already at least getting something going on towards the zone itself. And how about Thug? 3 in a row, a little help from a nade over the top that will allow an opportunity for numbers to start flooding into control. Just comes down to can you find the kills? And Thug says, sure, why not? 4 in a row, worst as possible. Early missile, but shut down just before you can earn it.
Bizexis really strong off the start, but then wasn't able to go and capitalize all of their rotations because they did have the power position, especially with Thug being there in second floor. But I mean, for Mobility, they're doing such a great job at holding this hill, and kind of like what we saw a while ago, really strong P1 hill for them. And now it's all about the contest going in from Zexis, but obviously 17 left on the clock. You need to find a way to control that 2F and try to go in for the setup here, but I feel like that's doing really good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, really good stuff, I'd say, for Mobility, kind of taking the small losses in the trade game on the chin and then immediately turning it around to a beneficial look over to the hard point itself. So 51 seconds earned on P1 as we rotate over towards Catwalk. Mobility with numbers starting to flood forward over towards the low ground itself. But you do have a big stack here from Zexis trying to work themselves just in essentially bunkering on the hard points, working out nicely for them. And Jet taking a little bit of trouble trying to flip the spawns around, which he is successful in doing. And the Pred missile will be called as they attempt to try to break, but it comes up empty.
No, Rehat not really able to utilize that Pred missile. But what I like about what Mobility did here, they wanted to go and flip the spawns. And yes, no one was contesting it for just a little bit, but yes, you can just go in there if you do have spawn control, and they still do. Try to go in for the setup, but that also leaves this P2 wide open, and so far no contest whatsoever.
Yeah, really, I mean, it's just a little slow and messy for that as well. Pistol out for Claps, looking to double up, but has the help of Ingentic to make sure the trade is confirmed. Significant time earned here, though, from Zexis. They say, hey, that's good for us. We'll just go ahead and play for the rotation, which I love this timing better. You know, trying to play for the P3 spawns before the second hard point's even open, so much can go wrong in a 4v4 map where you're playing 5v5, and you're seeing exactly why. Good recovery, though, as the scrap time at 2 will end, and Mobility will have numbers to try to win back these spawns. I
feel like it was a little bit too early of a rotation coming in from the side of, you know, Zexis. I mean, sorry, rather Mobility, where they tried to go in there early on, but lost it. But then again, got it right back, and they finally have control here in P3, where you get to have most of the points. Not only that, Claps trying to go in there for the denial with that's really good. Vertex, the Gravity Vortex definitely going to be really big to just deny that entry.
And with that, even though it's only 2 kills, lots of score being tallied by Claps here, working for potentially a very early Goliath. Elegant trying to slide on forward, but shaking off the effects of the stun was Claps. Not even done yet, with one more around the back, already earning full streaks. His teammates will pick up the assist, and all of a sudden, Mobility have completely blown the lid off this game early.
I mean, Mobility had the right intention to go in there for the early rotation, but they just didn't really win the gunfights. I feel like that's going to be a really difficult thing to go and pursue, especially since that's the base thing that you need to do is win your gunfights. And yes, even though you do have that early rotation, kind of like what we saw here, I mean, you need to just defend it really heavily. And it just really depends if they win all the gunfights. But now, slow on the rotation yet again, and I feel like for Mobility, even though they don't early rotate, they still win all of their gunfights and go in for the entry.
Yeah, Pred missile going to be used to try to open up the back, flip the spawns around. Successful in this endeavor is Mobility, now taking their focus towards the hard point itself. Ingentic dealing a lot of damage, and on top of that, you've got the reinforcement of the Purifier to break the hard point in your first attempt. Yeah, this has been really good coordination out of Mobility. Not just taking a we're going to outslay you approach, but a lot of good focus from the team as a full-on 5-man unit. And the kills just keep on coming, and they don't stop coming.
Yeah. Don't stop coming, don't stop coming. Don't worry, I got you on that one. Okay, don't worry, I'll back you up when it comes to these references again. So anyway, when it comes to Mobility, they didn't even have to go in for the early rotation because you know very well that they can just go in there for the retake, and they were just so patient when it comes to flushing out every one of them, especially at a distance. Not only that, doing a bait and switch here in P4, and now let's see what's going to happen here into our next rotation, finally go into the restart.
Yeah, double Goliaths been earned up for Mobility. It's just not great news. Look at the KDs. 20-9 for Rayhan, 16-10 for Awaken. And Gentic try to get things heated up with Purifier at 12-8. Into the hard point he goes. Having a hard time finding players to even shoot at. There they are. A little double, no problem. Does get shut down immediately afterwards, though, by Parka, but again, damage is done. Numbers convincingly won by Mobility as they get closer and closer to 200 points. And I know it's not the most ideal set of hills to come through with, but you're in Goliath. Just spend to put the game out of reach. It's looking good for it.
We might see another double Goliath setup happening here in Catwalk once we do have that start. And now they're not even going into the 50-point club. I mean, Mezexis, come on. Just get 2 more points. You don't want to be in here this club because that's definitely going to be damaging to your confidence as a team. But again, pretty good setup for the next hill though. But then again, there's not going to be any sort of contest coming in from this team.
Yeah, pretty casual stuff right now coming out. Break for the scrap time does come through from Mezexis. Yawn trying to contest. One more player on the corner. Stug. He will drop. Parka in the corner. No chance. Oh, man. And, you know, the thing about it is, I'm telling you, it's not just the fact that Mobility are outslaying and just winning a lot of individual gunfights. Yeah, sure, they're doing that. But I think what we're starting to really see from this Mobility squad, based on what we saw in their opening round, as well as what we're starting to really get clear pictures of here, is that their focus as a full squad is really allowing them the most advantages possible. And they're not making many mistakes when they do try to get a little greedy. So that's encouraging stuff for Mobility as they look to close this game out right here in the second hill.
And now let's see, one last push coming in from the side of Mezexis. Let's see if that's going to happen. But then with the Predator missile, not really finding anyone. Well, that's going to be really good for them. But come on, reach the 50-point club. There's only 30 seconds left, and Mobility's going to be taking all of it. It's all up to you, player number 2. But then Magia doesn't really quite get anyone. And I feel like I cursed this team right now because I did mention that they didn't reach that point. But with 10 seconds left of the clock and everyone else just investing everything here, they didn't even have to bring out the Goliath here.
No need. It's kind of like that situation when you're up by 30, you say no styling power dunks. Just let the game come to a close, and so it will be 250 to 50.
Galerinha bonita, como eu falei aí, não se esqueça de deixar o like, beleza? E se inscrever aí no canal, tá bom?
What a showing of
A
dominance
gente
here.
vai
Rihan just having
tá
such an
zerando,
amazing
né?
time.
Na
I mean, it's
verdade aí,
everyone else in Mobility doing their job, and I feel like it was only Thugs
na
the side of
verdade,
Zexus that was trying to go in there
antes de
for the
tudo,
kills and
vou
for the
falar
slays.
pra
I mean,
vocês
like what you said, individual
por
gunfights,
que eu tô
obviously, it's going to be on the side
colocando
of
essa
Mobility.
livezinha
But
pra
not just
vocês
that.
aqui
I mean, I
ver
feel like
aqui,
there
ó.
were really good rotation coming in from
Se vocês
the Zexus, but
assistir,
just couldn't
galera,
fight fire
cada um de
with
vocês
fire.
assistir essa live, tem prêmios aqui, como eu falei antes, para vocês ganharem. Ó, prêmios que incluem desígnio de personagem. Tem aqui
we kind of came into today with expectations for who kind of the power ranks
visitas, né, com desígnio de alta velocidade, a TV com camuflagem blue, então vem várias coisas, galera. Vem armas, né? Então vem equipamentos, personagens. A galera que não tá antenada aí, assista o campeonato, beleza? Vocês vão ganhar equipamentos de graça e sem gastar dinheiro. Então não se esqueça de estar dando prioridade aí ao Alexandre da Silva Games Mobile. Ops, não é mais Alexandre da Silva Games Mobile, tá, galera? Galera que quiser achar meu canal aí, se chama Alex Play Mobile, beleza? Então tamo junto aí, bora lá.
Was bright spots up against NYSL, and now they're absolutely just shining all the way through, learning from the mistakes from a while ago. And yes, they didn't even have to pull out the Goliaths, and that's just how dominant this Hardpoint Summit is. And without a doubt, definitely I already knew that it was going to be an absolute smackfest because they did go up against Stamina, which was a really good team back in stage 3. Give them a 250 and 90. So already know they're good at Summit Hardpoint, but again, we're slowing things down here in Raid Search and Destroy, where again, it's just looking really good for Mobility because they did win this a while ago up against NYSL.
I think if you're Mobility, come out in this Search and Destroy and try that play that you didn't get a lot of success with, like in scrims or between stage 3 and stage 4. Like, do something weird. Try to see, you know, the nuances to kind of developing your playbook to be a little bit deeper, because I think you've got the ability to get away with it in this matchup. So if you could find a little bit of extra depth overall to what you want to call out in these Search and Destroy set pieces, who knows? Maybe you find something today, it's like, this is working. We'll give it a go when we're pulling up against our one-on-one matchup, pending, of course, if they do finish out this match. So we'll see how things unfold for Mezexis, looking to bounce back, though, in the Search and Destroy. Gonna blow up the truck early as Jan wants to take a sniper rifle already over towards driveway. Misses the first shot and the second. Goodness, these are clear-cut looks, but finally the shots will connect, and Mezexis is completely stuffed in their first attempt over towards B.
I mean, Magia is all the way deep into B. I mean, there's not going to be any sort of backup. As you can see, Jan just going to get every single one here, and that's going to be a really good thing for him. So Mizexis is going to be in a little bit of a pickle here as Jan finally gets one more. He gets 3 to his name. And you push out the bomb all the way out there, and you don't have any sort of backup. You already know you're giving your teammates a hard time eventually when you do go down.
I mean, Jan was comfortable to take as many shots as he wanted to, even though he missed the first 3. So that's never great news. You got to be able to at least be aware of the possible problem in front of you and be able to deal with it in stride. But Zexus is completely stuffed on their initial attempt. So Stug, last one left, trying to play around the backside through jungle. Should have a look at Awaken. Shots come out, but can't quite finish off the kill. Awaken will bail out towards safety. And with 45 seconds, Slug's job of getting this 1v3 just became that much more difficult.
I feel like that was a pre-fire that gave his position away. I feel like he could have been way quieter. But obviously that's definitely going to be a hot spot, so that was a risk that he was willing to take, but obviously it did not pay off. Finally goes down, gets one, is able to get one more, but then obviously there's going to be 2 of them right now. Brings out the pistol, doesn't really quite finish the job as claps back at him, and now finally a 1-0. And I feel like that was... I didn't like that push coming into Bravo because I feel like the bomb, like what I said, was a little bit pushed out. And knowing very well that Jan was getting so many shots, reposition yourself.
Well, I think it's not even just that. Like, you should know that the defense is going to get to B first. And for them to not have any nades over the top, not be aware of potential snipers or just rifles that are pinned up over the top side of ring, is just a little bit shortcoming. And once again, it's Jan this time not missing on his first shot taken. It's Mahi who falls. And it looks like that's going to be from Azexis saying, nope, don't want to deal with that. Let's rotate back over. But the problem is there are defenders that are challenging both mid as well as backside bedroom.
Now, Rehan's definitely going to be a problem once he does get information. So that's good that Azexis wants to go in for the rotation, but it looks like they're still staying here in mid. But again, every entrance blocked by mobility. And now it's allowing them to give someone like Rehan to give such an easy snipe off. Gets 1, gets 2. Will he get the 3rd? Yes, he does. Will he get the 4th? No, he doesn't. But Elegant finally shuts him down. But it does put him in a very difficult situation here in a 1v4.
Golly, dude.
Oh my
it's just, it's that inevitable car crash you see coming. You can't help but look right at it. Elegant trying to work back over through pool. Scouted out on the maneuver, but does have the bomb to potentially get on Door's side, and who knows, maybe something can happen, but definitely respecting the opportunity for the defense to reposition around his backside, which currently number 1 in Yon has done to make sure there is no rotation back. You've completely contained Elegant. There's no need to chow him. You know you're forcing him to have to go over towards A, make him make the special play. That's exactly what's going to unfold here as Claps will be watching over through mid-stairs, and the last 2 defenders are part of this mobility defense are just playing on top of headies, and yeah, I think Elegant is very quickly realizing his very difficult situation he finds himself in.
That was a great response coming from mobility, just trying to close off that one player, knowing very well that they don't really have to bunch up together and give the chance for him to go and plant for Bravo, and that information is just absolutely key. And now what we need to see from Azex is if, okay, Bravo didn't work out for you, there you go, full send going into A, not really making the same play. So at least for them, when it comes to the rotations, that's going to be good for them. It's just initially winning those gunfights, especially when you are a man down.
Oh, but look at this, Rayhan's going to be watching the cross, and the Claps will be alerted, and when he needs to make the play. Smoke to the window, nades to follow. No connections there. And Stug actually gets Awakened over the middle of the map. That actually opens up a world of opportunities from Zexus to retrain back through mid if they want to. But they're going to force the play forward. And oh, how about it? The kills come through cleanly. First 3 eliminations, tally for the attack. And that should lead to a plant in a very difficult 2v5 for Yon and Ingentic to have to work through. If they even get the opportunity to, which they will not. Flawless round coming out of Zexus. Brilliant way to get on the board.
Yeah, beautiful play coming in for them. Because, yes, they've had pretty good plays, just not able to work fast enough, especially in that second round where they just took too long to go in for the rotation and eventually just gave Rehan that extra long rotation. And now going in for the same thing, except for that one player going in from the back end. And now, obviously, we get to see a heavier stack just guarding A. And now that's going to be very difficult. Bomb again. Going to be overextended just a little bit, but it's okay. But if you see player number 2 coming in from the side of mobility, Claps might try to find a way to get this kill.
Do they expect him in the right corner this time? That's the question as the offense still looking to force the play forward. And yeah, Claps actually gives away his position. Able to kind of slow things up, get themselves set up. If Mizexis allows them to, they still look that they're pretty primed and ready to hit this. Awaken feeling the pressure will reposition. Does he see Mahi in the corner? Doesn't seem to. Now he sure has. That'll be a call I'm sure Ingentic will be able to use to watch the cutout. And Mizexis is now essentially committed to this play because Mahia should be dead here.
And now Awaken. Oh, that gives that information though. Even though he saw Mahia just go all the way up, doesn't really matter for them. And now a 3v1 situation in the favor of Mizexis. That's going to be a beautiful play. And it looks like finally the reset coming in from Ace. That's going to be more impressive for them. Yon tries to go for the shots, but obviously S-Thugs trying to go in there for the shutdown. And now we're even things up in 2-2. Yeah, that was really good. They do way better here in A.
Yeah, 100%. And that's an incredible two-piece for Mahia for what it's worth, by the way. To win the 1v1 inside a cutout and then come back, hit the jump, see the second contestant just in the front side of basketball. Well done. And, yep, you're absolutely right. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go right back over to that same setup towards A. This time more focus about the middle of the map, though, for the attack of Mizexis. Awaken smoke out 1v1 once again with Mahia. Loses that, and it's another first blood for the offense.
Mahia has been so good in this team, but then Yon finally spots Sunny out, shuts him down, and now they're going to be even things out. And now the bomb going to be all the way deep into mid. Need some sort of backup just because you need to see that Yon is going to be... Oh, doesn't really quite get the scope. S-Dogs finally gets the shot. Misplay coming in for them. And now a free plant going here in Bravo as we finally get to see a rotation coming in from the side of Mobility.
But Ingentic does actually stop the first contestant. Good follow-up, though, as Mizexis is right back on towards the site. Plant will be allowed to happen as Parka will get it down. Rayan trying to work back to the middle of the map. Should have seen Mahia on the back off. Sure did, but doesn't catch enough of him. Now to the scope. Once again, sees the cross back towards Blue Van. Nade to play with if you can find an opportunity to get it over the top. With the bomb planted and a lot of clearance that has to come through. You don't want to get caught with the nade out at the same rate. So trust the shot, and especially if it's hitting like that. Mahia's still staying down. Oh, just play off the clock. Absolutely the right call, but Rayhan repositions and maybe a chance to isolate.
Elegant needs to go and push. There needs to be some sort of pinch right here. I mean, it's just no way that he can go and win this, especially with one more person there was going to be Elegant. But then obviously, 17 seconds left. I feel like he should have flushed him out and tried to go in for the info because he did have time on his hands.
Yeah, there's a little bit more time to play with for sure, but I do have to give a lot of credit to Mahia just for staying down, not revealing his position in any form. Force, again, the defuse to have to come through. Don't give up 3v1 situations. And now, just like this, Zexus is up in the search and destroy with 3 consecutive rounds. Back over towards A they go. Claps not playing inside the site this time, as Awaken was actually looking to kind of peek and poke over to the water staircase. Got damaged a bunch, but does keep his life. And more importantly, he's alerted the defense that this should be another hit towards A.
I mean, it works out for them every single time. Every time that they go for Bravo, it's just, you know, it's just really hard for them. And now they're going to be playing it slow a little bit more, though, because they're just planning and bagging on Rehan to try to go and get one more pick. And so far, no information given whatsoever to Mizexis, but oh, there you go. Rehan finally gets the scope. There you go. That is a good sign, and that's going to be very difficult because eventually, if we see these 2 players coming in from Mobility to go in for the pinch, they might be blocked out. But again, really big kill coming in from Elegant, try to even things out.
It's a wall bang to the bottom side of the baseline at basketball. Now looking for some pre-fire shots. Underwaken definitely sees the top of the head for sure now. I mean, they've gotten a really good look at one another, but Yon, on his rotation, has helped this defense kind of, once again, sustain their positions, and it's just too slow for Mizexis. You get the first pick, push through it. Mahia, the last one left, and who knows? With the way he's playing, anything's possible. From a 1v4 now to a 1v2. Biggest component here is time. 36 seconds on the clock, no bomb. Could possibly still try to play for kills here, especially with nades that are still in hand.